What's good, YouTube? It's Deneeta and Alfred.
Right here, right now, and we're back at it with our second video on our channel.
Yeah, welcome back to our channel, guys. We are excited to be back. It's been a while since we have posted our previous video. For those of you that watched it, that was our wedding proposal video.
Yes.
And we haven't been posting because it's just a lot of stuff been happening in our life, and we've been really focused trying to do something better for ourselves, you know. Yeah, but life has been fun, so we are back again to give an update.
Yes.
Yeah,
so you guys, I just want to first start off by saying we are married. If you guys didn't know, because our last video on YouTube, this wonderful man proposed to me in New York City, and that was a very good surprise. I love that. So now we're married. We got married on January 8th of this year at our home church. So yeah, so now we're back and we want to give a little bit of an update. So we have questions here, you guys. We have some written down, and then I asked you guys on Instagram to ask me questions so we'd be able to talk about stuff.
Yeah.
Introduce ourselves.
You want me to go first? I'll introduce myself first. My name is Alfred Kandakai, and I'm 21 years old. Deneeta Kandakai is my wife, and we are newly married. Very exciting, and it's a blessing to be in this position because coming year, it was very tough. We had to overcome so many tough situations, and for us to be standing here today and telling our story to you guys is just by the grace of God, and it's a blessing, seriously.
Yes, it is, babe. That was a great introduction.
I love to play tennis. It's a passion of mine. I've been playing tennis ever since I was 5 years old. And for those of you guys that don't know, I'm originally from Liberia, which is located in West Africa, so I'm African.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And you do photography, you're interested in photography, videography, such things like that. Alrighty, my name is Deneeta Kandakai. I'm 21 years old. I'm married to Alfred Kandakai Jr. Things that I love to do: sing, write, draw, just create and enjoy people company and make them feel welcome and anything like that. To inspire people, I love to do that in any way that I can. So, yeah. We can get started. That's good for now because I don't want to get too into that.
Yeah, makes sense. But,
what?
Oh yeah, you already introduced yourself, right? Got you.
The first question is, what is our page for? What should they expect when they come to our page? Should we talk about that?
Yeah, for sure.
So, since we're introducing ourselves, we want you guys to know what our page is for. What is the purpose of this page? Because we're not just here just to be cute, okay? We're here for a purpose. Now, our purpose together is to inspire, to uplift, empower, maybe educate with wisdom.
To be authentic and
yes,
to just express our perspective of life and how we see life from a different perspective. And like Deneeta said, we are not trying to be like everybody else. So if you really follow us down the line, you will get to know like our story, and hopefully you can be inspired by that too, because not many young couples or many young people, adults, are taking this route. So it is very difficult, but it is possible. So we just want to share our story so that you believe and you can do the same thing too.
Yeah, the purpose of our page, because you guys know that we're 21 and we're married. So we just want to take you guys on this route, this journey with us as we grow together, as we learn to adult, as we unlearn bad habits that were taught to us growing up and learn better habits for our life. It's just about developing over time, and as individuals and as a married couple. And because we want to be very transparent, if you don't know, we're Christians, so we just want to take you along this journey with us. Let's have fun. Let's grow together.
Right, and on this page, like, we're going to talk more about God, and how he changed our life and how like we started our whole journey with Christ. I don't know if we're gonna talk about that in this video. I'm not sure what the questions are because my wife basically draw down all the questions, so we'll go through them and see how it goes.
So let's start with question number 1. What was it like preparing for marriage? Like if you if you had to describe it, yeah, what was it like preparing for marriage? And I broke it down. I put like different categories. So premarital counseling, family members, celibacy, and just learning each other. So if you want to break that down, we can talk about that. We can talk about marriage counseling.
I would talk about
okay, go ahead.
like okay, so like preparing for marriage. Marriage is not easy. It's very tough, but it is fun when you find the right person.
Yes.
And you cannot truly find the right person unless you do it with God.
Amen.
So, and if you are with the wrong partner, you can know. Like, if you are with the wrong person, you feel unproductive, you feel drained, and all those stuff. Like, if you're with the right person, you feel like you're growing together. Like, even being married, sometimes people get lost in marriage. But like if you're with the right person again, like you can really feel that joy and passion and love towards that person. Start with saying, like I said, marriage is not easy. It's tough. So just by us being able to know that we are imperfect,
yeah,
makes a big difference because like honestly, when I first saw Deneeta, like I knew, I don't know what was in me, but like I knew in my heart, like instantly, she was gonna be my wife.
Yeah,
and and it was crazy. Like a lot of people thought I was crazy, but yeah, we are now. So you can go, babe.
Yeah, babe. Cause here's a little background because I wrote that down too. Where we met in high school, but we didn't really meet, like get to know each other until college. So some of you already know the story, but I'll just say it real quick. One day I was sitting in my honors trigonometry class in high school. Alfred walked in there. I don't know what he was there for. But when he walked in there, I was in the middle of a conversation. I turned and I said, "Oh, I like his accent." And then I literally turned back to the person that I was talking to. He told me that he had his eyes on me before. I knew nothing about Alfred Sakan Nakai. I knew nothing about him. But he knew something about me.
What?
He liked me or had an interest in me. Is this true?
Yeah, I had an interest in you.
Yeah.
From high school, yeah.
Yeah. So that day, he told me, "What'd you do when you left the classroom?"
I was very excited. Yeah, when I walked in the classroom, I said something, and she said, "Oh, he has a really nice accent," and like that made me, smile, and I was blushing.
What?
Ever since that day, like.
You funny, babe.
Like I had a crush on Deneeta, like for real, and then.
And I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, and we never talked in high school.
Never.
But I always seen her, so. And then fast forward, year come college.
Literally the first semester, the first month, I believe.
So I seen Deneeta in college, and I was like, you know what? This is the right time to shoot my shot. Why not?
My nigga.
And none of us was looking for a relationship.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's the truth.
Yeah.
But when we got there, like he said, he shot his shot and he made it. But it took some time.
Yeah, it took some time. Yeah.
I'm not like. I wasn't just letting anybody talk to me. He can explain that to you, but it took some time. Yeah. Okay, so that's just a little background story. We started talking in college, our first semester. So yeah. So this is the question: what was it like preparing for marriage? For me, it was difficult. I will tell you that. If I didn't have God and I didn't have this wonderful man, I don't know. It was difficult for me, but I'll tell you why it was difficult. Number one, marriage was a nice idea to me, but it wasn't common in my family. Like, you don't look around and see married women. So it was very new. It was very different. And when you are introduced to something new, you get scared. Like, you're going to get scared. But because God confirmed this to me multiple times, even through the trials and tribulations, I had something to hold on to. Even in my dream. Like, it was crazy. It was very difficult. And as you know, when you get married young, you're going to have a lot of opposition.
Yeah.
A lot of people is not going to be there for you. A lot of people will not believe that what you're doing is the right decision. We had opposition from both sides of the family. More side his family. Yeah.
But
so.
like that's the beauty of, you know.
It is. It taught us. It
yeah.
taught us a lot. It helped us to mature.
Mm-hmm.
And it helped me to forgive eventually. I'm going to be honest with you. Going through that adversity, I did not want to forgive any of them. I did not. And I won't sit here and lie and tell you that. I did not want to forgive any of them. But eventually I had to, because it was causing such a bitterness in my heart. And it was making me act a certain way, and I didn't like that about myself. And then I had to accept that people really project their fear onto you. They could have been married and it went bad, or they just see young people trying to get married. They don't have a career. They're not, and they get scared. But it's truly a blessing to be married to Alfred. It truly is. I wouldn't have it any other way.
And it's a blessing to be married to you too, babe. Seriously.
I love you.
I love you too.
Okay, so that was that. I'm trying to stay in order because this is
like talking about the adversity that we faced. It made our bond and love towards one another even stronger.
Yes.
And from that, like from everybody disbelieving in us and telling us that we were going to feel that this is not possible, that you guys are too young, you guys are still in college, you need to focus on school. We know all of those things are important, but like as a young couple coming up, like it was really tough to hear those things.
It really was.
But I'm glad that it happened, because without that, we wouldn't have, really fought for what we wanted.
Yes.
And like that really motivated us to, fight for
even harder.
Yeah, for the love for one another, and to prove to ourselves that we really want this. Because like you have to like in tough times in marriage, you have to look back at something that made you and this person come together. And like those moments and those hard times in our life, I will never forget it. And like that, those are one of the times that made like my love towards Deneeta even stronger. Yeah. So I was glad that it happened, and we wouldn't have done it without God and the help of the pastor.
Yes.
Because he really counseled us, and just was like a guardians there for us to lead us into the right path and stuff like that. So
especially when everybody else around us was not on board with it, we had someone to guide us. And that was our next point: premarital counseling. I think that it's very vital to be in premarital counseling when you want to get married at a young age, even if you want to get married. But being married at a young age, I think is very important, because there are some things that you don't know that you should know. Even when I thought I was ready for marriage, I was not. My character, my attitude, there was much more that I needed to learn about myself, about Alfred, about marriage in general, and eventually I did, and I still am learning. So we would take marital counseling once a week. I don't remember the day, but maybe Tuesday. It was Tuesday. But we would do marital counseling once a week with the pastor at our home church, and it was very helpful. Like, he was very transparent and he has wisdom.
Yes,
so we really appreciated that, especially in the times where it was so difficult for us. Like, we really had to fight adversity every day.
Like, you're right. And people, they didn't even know what we were going through. And, like, to be honest, I'm not going to lie. Like, I was about to give up because, like, it was just, like, so much pressure.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't handle anymore. But, like, I don't know, for some reason, with the pastor and with us just constantly praying and fasting,
yes,
like, that really, like, just made me to not give up, you know? So, like, we really appreciate the pastor and, like, all praise to God, because without God, this wouldn't have been possible, so, yeah.
And don't get us wrong. We really love each other, but when we still do, but it was so much opposition from everybody or almost everybody that it caused us to be like hurt, and it didn't result good. But we fought through it because I'm a praying woman. I'm gonna pray. I don't care. I'm gonna pray no matter what the situation is, and that's exactly what I did. And every time that I prayed, there was always confirmation. There was always something. So that's that. So we talked about family members. We don't want to get too into depth with that because we've overcome a lot of things and we don't want to go back into the past. But just be aware, if you are getting married young, just be aware that you're going to have opposition from everybody else. You may have opposition. Don't hate them. Learn to forgive them and continue to love them. But just be aware. And don't take everything personal.
Yes. Right. Don't take everything personal. Like, Pastor kept...
But have boundaries.
Yeah, but have boundaries. Pastor kept reminding us about that. And, like, marriage is very special, but especially kingdom marriage, like people that are trying to do the right things by God, like trying to stay celibate before marriage, trying to, you know, stay out of sins and all that stuff. We are not perfect. Nobody is perfect, you know, but the devil is gonna fight something that is good.
Yes.
And so, like, we just had to go through so much stuff. Like, it's crazy. Imagine you chasing a dream or chasing your goals, and you have close families that you're supposed to trust, you're supposed to lean on in times of trouble, talking against it, like saying negative stuff. So all the stuff, you know, we have overcame it. So we are glad to be here now, and
we're glad to have gone through that.
Yeah.
And that actually gets us to our next point: celibacy. If you guys didn't know, since we are Christians, we weren't Christians when we first started dating. Well,
we
I'm sorry,
Christians.
we weren't. We are Christians. You believe and you follow in Christ.
Yeah.
But we weren't living to please God when we first started dating. We were having, I don't know if I can say that on YouTube, but
yeah, you can say that. We gotta be transparent. Yeah.
No, but I don't know if they're gonna flag me, or.
Oh yeah.
We were sleeping with each other.
Wow.
In our relationship before marriage, and we weren't even thinking about marriage in the beginning, really.
Yeah.
So that's something that we did realize, and eventually, like, Alfred introduced me to his church, and I love him for that, because nowadays, baby, you need a man of God. Okay, you need a man of God. You need a woman of God. You need somebody that's gonna hold you accountable, always introduce you to the Word of God, lead you to God in difficult times and in good times. And that's exactly what he did. So, and he still does. But celibacy was hard for us, but then it started getting easy. And even the times when we were really not sleeping with each other, when we were preparing for marriage, people still thought we were sleeping with each other. And that's just a prime example of, baby, live your life.
Yeah.
Don't put your life on hold for somebody else's opinion, and don't live in fear of it. Because even when we were on our P's and Q's and not sleeping with each other, people still thought we were. Now, why do we practice celibacy? Not only because we're Christians, but why do we practice celibacy?
Well, I'll be honest.
Mm-hmm.
For me,
Yeah.
I'm not saying for us. Like for me, I started to practice celibacy because the pastor told me to,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt like I needed that. Like I needed to wait for something that I truly love.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you really love someone, and as I would say this to all the females, like if you are trying to stay celibate before marriage, if a guy really loves you, he will respect you.
Mm-hmm.
And he will try to do the right things. At least try to do it, you know?
Exactly.
Like I was really putting effort. It was hard. Like sometimes I fail, and like I was really trying my best, but especially Deneeta, she was really serious about it, and
Baby, I was serious.
very serious.
I have never been this serious, but
yo, she was wearing baggy clothes, bro. Like she was.
Yo, let me tell y'all.
She was looking like a grandmom in the house.
But I was
like,
still looking good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And,
Let's include that. But no. So I started practicing celibacy because number one, I'm a Christian. But that wasn't the only reason. I started practicing it because I started to see the importance of it. When we slept together, when we started walking with God and preparing for marriage, every time that we would sleep together, I would feel this heavy feeling on me the next morning. Like I felt like I was under attack, and I knew that was a spiritual thing. I knew that I needed to stop doing what I was doing because it wasn't of God. And God was warning me. So I listened to it. I heed to his instructions. So baby, it was out of the picture for me. So we were so serious. Listen, we weren't allowed to, like, we have rules, and this is what you need to know. Mm-hmm. When you are intentional about something, when you are serious about something, you love somebody, and you're working towards a bigger goal, you're going to put the effort in.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Stop lying to yourself, telling yourself that you cannot be celibate. Like, before I met him, baby, celibacy, I wasn't even thinking about it. No. Then I started thinking about it.
Yeah, I was, like, when the pastor first told me, I was not trying to hear that, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, what you talking about, bro?
Yes, and I'm glad you're telling the truth.
Yeah.
And, yeah, so what we started doing, I started wearing, like, certain clothes that was like, baggy. And you know, like, the biker shorts, y'all? For females, I stopped wearing them around Alfred. Because, first of all, it would make me feel a type of way. Like, we gotta do something if I'm wearing these, and that's a lie. Don't try to get me, devil. So I stopped wearing them. I stopped wearing leggings. If I was wearing leggings, I was wearing a whole long shirt. Like, yes, y'all think that y'all can't do that just because that's your boyfriend? No, what is it called? The society will lie to you, telling you that it's okay. And just know this: since we are human, we did fall short sometimes. Even though we were doing really good at a point in time, we fell short. But what we did was run to God. We didn't run away from God. And that's something that I want you guys to always remember. Don't run away from God when you sin. Run towards him. And you just repent, ask for forgiveness. And try your best to keep staying away from sin. Yes. Or at least to not give into sin. Not have it overpower you. So
it's a process, guys.
It is.
Like, all these things is a process. And, like, we all make mistakes, but try to learn from your mistakes, you know? But, like, one of the big lessons I learned from celibacy was, like Deneeta said, whenever we, like, slept together, like, we always felt, like, guilty and that stuff, like, you know? Because, like, we truly believe it. And once you're willing to work hard for something, and you feel at it, like, you get a feeling like you don't want to make that same mistake, especially with God, because you don't want to keep disrespecting God over and over again and asking for forgiveness. Like,
exactly.
You have to be intentional with him. Yeah.
Okay, so what is marriage like for us now?